Guys, look what I just pulled out of my oven. She's a beaut, huh? She's a beaut, yeah. It's really simple, easy, no knead artisan loaf of bread. Do you want me to show you how to make it? You know it, grab your apron and let's get to baking. I'm looking for some homemade bread for dinner tonight. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna show you how I make a really simple, easy, no knead artisan loaf in my Dutch oven. Here I have a 1.5 cups of warm water, about 110 degrees. I placed 1 teaspoon of sugar in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of instant yeast to this. And I'm just gonna simply give that a mix and then wait for it to proof. Guys, I know people say you don't have to proof instant yeast. It's just insurance for me, so I like to. This, you don't want to proof for any longer than 5 minutes. If it's not foamy within that first 5 minutes, your yeast is probably dead. Either your water was too hot or the yeast is no good anymore. So let me go ahead and get this mixed up and we'll let it proof and I will tell you my dry ingredients. All right, to my mixing bowl here, I have 3 cups of all-purpose unbleached flour. I like to use King Arthur's. And I have 2 teaspoons of just plain old table salt. I like to add a lot of salt to my bread. I like to taste the salt in my bread. A lot of recipes that you're gonna find do not call for that much salt, so keep that in mind. Now, simply, when my yeast is done proofing, it's almost there, and I will show you. I'm just gonna add to my dry ingredients and we're gonna mix. My yeast is done proofing. I'm gonna try to show you guys the best. You see how that's all foamy on top? That's how I know my yeast is activated. So, or is indeed active, excuse me. So that's just, like I said, it's just extra insurance for me. No more than 5 minutes on that though, guys, okay? Because it will make your bread really dense and really chewy. Now, I'm going to simply just create a little well in my bowl here. Go ahead and add all my yeast and water mixture. And I'm just gonna simply start mixing, all right? So just kind of fold it in around the bowl and get it until it's all basically incorporated. Let me go ahead and get this done and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, let me show you what my dough looks like. Guys, it's a very sticky dough and that is totally fine. Just simply put it back in your bowl and I want you to cover this tightly with cling wrap, a damp tea towel, whatever your preference is, and you're gonna proof it for 1 to 2 hours. So you're just gonna want to see a double in bulk on this. Guys, it's easy to tell if your dough has doubled in bulk. If you use a clear mixing bowl, you could take a little dry erase marker and mark it on the outside of the bowl. And then once it's double that size, you know it's proofed. So I'm just gonna simply cover this. I'm gonna turn on the light on my hood range above my oven. That's how I like to proof my dough. All right, my dough is doubled in size. Next step, take a cast iron pan. This is a 5.5 quart, just for size reference. I'm going to keep the lid on, put it in my oven, and preheat it for 500 degrees, okay? I'll be back. Okay, this is all the handling of this dough that you'll have to do. I'm just gonna simply flour my surface lightly, and then I'm going to dump the contents of my bowl, that bulk that's doubled in size, right onto that floured surface. You're gonna have to scrape it. It's sticky, guys. It's sticky, okay? Just scrape it all out, plop it onto the flour. All right, next, I'm just gonna do just some stretch and folds. So I'm just gonna simply pull from one side and place it in the middle, the center of the dough. Doesn't need too much. I'm going to then just gather this all into the center. I have a piece of parchment paper that I've already have ready out waiting, and I'm just gonna place it into the center of that parchment paper. Now we're just waiting for our oven to preheat and I'll show you the next step. My oven is almost done preheating. I'm going to simply just give this one little score. I'm gonna take the sharpest knife that I have, which just happens to be a Rada knife that I got from a school fundraiser. These are beautiful knives, guys. I'm just gonna simply score this. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my Dutch oven and I'll show you what the next step is. Okay guys, my pan is ready. You're gonna keep your oven mitts on the whole entire time. My mistakes, okay? Because this just came out of a 100 degree oven and you're gonna forget that this pan's hot when you gotta put this lid on. So keep it on. Now, you're gonna put this in your oven and you're going to decrease the heat to 450 degrees. You're gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. After that timer goes off, you're gonna take the lid off and put it in there for another 15 minutes. I'll show you what this looks like when it's done. It's done, guys. 30 minutes with the cover on, 15 minutes with the cover off. Absolutely perfection. Let me get this out of the way. Guys, you know you can't cut into bread until it's completely cooled, okay? So I can't cut into this right now. But can we just take a peek at this? Look at how beautiful that loaf of bread is. And so easy, guys. It's so easy. That's all I have for you guys today. And as usual, thanks for baking with me.